We have over 370 detainees, including federal, and about 239 inmates.
A total of 614 inmates and detainees today are being housed at the Guam Department of Corrections, according to spokesman Lieutenant Antone Uggan, a number he and his colleagues consider overcrowded. In fact, for each inmate and detainee, it costs taxpayers $97.71 a day, over $2,930 a month, and over $35,000 a year. Uggan says those costs are about average when compared to other states. During a rare tour of the Hagåtña detention facility, Uggan shows PNC they get anywhere from 9 to 15 detainees a day, with cells meant for 2 people often filled with 3 to 4 people.
This place here is when someone first gets arrested, this is where they would spend the night. Sometimes we have about 4 to 5 in a cell, depending on the activity over the weekend, but it can get pretty crowded. We try to move them out of here as soon as we can to Manila to ease the overcrowding, but it's been a challenge.
Another concern DOC faces is a lack of officers in Manila and in Hagåtña. Lieutenant Uggan says they should have at least 2 officers in the Hagåtña facility, maybe 3, but on most days they only have 1 person.
That officer has to go back and forth and take care of all these guys, plus the front gate and some other issues too.
So there might be an issue of safety.
Of course, and that's always a concern. We are trying our best to cover it with additional officers, but again, that increases our overtime.
Uggan adds they try to manage overtime without jeopardizing an officer's safety. But another problem is that the Hagåtña building is outdated and air conditioners break down often. Even on the federal detention facility side, Corrections Officer 2 Mike Martinez says the once modern building is dilapidated. Martinez remarks when he first started over 20 years ago, the maximum amount of inmates and detainees was around 250 people. Since that number has more than doubled today, the overcrowding situation has forced them to put local detainees in the federal side.
This building is actually built by the federals, so we have no choice to put federals on this end. But since we have influx of people being arrested, we have too many people coming in, and we have to put them somewhere.
Martinez adds they don't mix federal and local detainees, and a big factor of that is cultural differences. So he says they take turns letting them out of their cells into the day room.
We're not supposed to hold them in there the whole time on the day. At least 1 hour within a 24-hour period, they should come out of their cell.
Officer Martinez and Lieutenant Uggan say the biggest challenge people don't understand is that when more people get arrested, then a bigger facility must be built. And while they need more officers, what they really need is a new prison. But money is always an issue.
The work demand is more overwhelming than the people that we can supply here to do the work that we need to do. When you got people coming processing. It's a 24-hour thing. It doesn't stop. People don't know that this thing doesn't stop. It's just like a clock. The only time you turn it off, you take the battery out or unplug it. But you can't do that with us. We just continue working. Okay. A lot of us, we're still young, but we look older than because of the stress.
No matter how much we try to control the population, it's always a band-aid. The population will go down today and tomorrow, but then in a few days it comes back up again. So really the long-term plan would to look at building a new facility that's better designed.